No!
Okay.
Alright, what's up everybody? It's Ian and Josh from Alpha Centauri. I'm Ian.
I'm Josh. How's it going?
And we're here for our first ever AlphaCast. Tonight we're going to be answering some of all the questions that you guys have asked us. And we're going to just get right to it. Okay. So, movies, other music in life, pretty much life just is the main influence on our music. You know, usually we'll have an event in our life that inspires, you know, a riff or a lyric part, and we'll kind of go off that, and that's pretty much the basis of all of our songs. You know, something will happen and Luke will write a lyric or I'll write a riff, and that's pretty much the basis of everything. Yeah, it's a creative outlet. Really, all of us sort of pitch in our own ideas and our own beliefs, and you know, it turns out to be a really good product. Yeah. Cool. If you had to listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? Oh, I honestly couldn't tell you. I go through odd phases. Like, one week I'll be listening to super lo-fi, old school, like hardcore bands like F- and all kinds of stuff. And then the next week I'll be listening to Muse and just, you know, completely opposite bands. I go through weird phases, and there's no way I could listen to one band for the rest of my life. Yeah, it really is an unfair question. I don't know. Probably some classic rock band like Led Zeppelin I'd be good with. Yeah. Alright, Josh, next question. Who would your dream band to tour with be? I don't know, probably Motley Crue. Motley Crue? Yep. And why would that be? I don't know, those guys crazy, man. Those dudes are off the chain. They do put on a good live show. Absolutely. I know that this is another band that, you know, we really wouldn't fit in with, but my dream band to tour with would be Green Day. You know, I've seen them almost a dozen times since I was a kid, and they put on the best live show out of any of the thousands of shows I've seen. And they're 40 years old and still stomping harder than, you know, most of the kids our age. Yeah, absolutely. Next question is, what is the answer to life? The answer to life would probably be Bill Murray. Alright, I like it. We're dragons. Yeah, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I feel like the meaning to life is just making the time that you have here the best that you can. Absolutely. You get one shot at it, and just make it count. Gotta do what you gotta do to make yourself happy. Drive after your own dreams. Absolutely. Yeah. Hold on a second. Fuck you, Fabio! Okay, next question. Would you rather be gossiped about or never talked about at all? Oh God, I'd much rather be gossiped about. I mean, people only gossip about you if you're doing something right. And, you know, if they're jealous or, you know, obviously you're making an impact on them, which means, you know, you're doing something for yourself. Yeah, I'd rather be gossiped about. I think haters make people famous. You know? You know? What band out there would we say we're most similar to? It's really hard to tell. John Denver. Yes, definitely John Denver. I mean, we have so many obscure parts. Like, we have really dissonant riffs on certain verses, and then we have, you know, really major choruses and really hooky choruses. And right, so it's sort of a mix of a lot of different things. Yeah, there's not really one band you could really say that we really sound like. Yeah. In this question, what band would you say we're complete opposite to? Beyonce. Alright, so this next question is directly for Josh. What would your weapon of choice be during a zombie apocalypse? Probably the recurve bow. Is that like the crossbow or the regular bow? Well, it's a traditional bow, but it's not compound. Okay. Typically people, you know, do compound. But I like the recurve bow. You can reuse ammunition. I just think it's an awesome weapon. Cool. So next question, which did you write first, instruments or lyrics?
It's definitely instruments. Usually how it worked was I would send a riff off to everyone and drums would be put to it, and then I would send a follow-up part to it, and once the entire song instrumentally would be done, then we would kind of, it's almost like a puzzle, like we would figure out a piece here and a piece there, how the lyrics that we had already before would fit.
Right, it was kind of like a postal service thing. You know, guitar was sent one way and drums were sent back, and things sort of just mashed up together after that.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, for the next question, what do you think? What do you have to say to someone who suffers with depression and suicidal thoughts?
Oh God, that's not an easy question. If you really suffer from depression and suicidal thoughts, talk to somebody immediately, you know. Don't act on anything. If you're just lonely and need somebody to talk to your friends, your family. But if it's really that serious, you know, call a hotline or act on it immediately.
Absolutely.
So Josh, what's your favorite song on the record?
Probably Good to Be King. It's a good, well-rounded song. Got pretty choruses and also super heavy breakdowns, which I love. What's your favorite?
Mine personally has to be The Levees Have Broken. It's got like the most strange part on the record. It's this really giant, weird, wide-open bridge with a lot of electronics and just like giant-sounding vocals. And that song really exemplifies me and Josh's difference in guitar playing. Josh and I are two very different guitar players that actually play really well off each other.
That's true.
Josh is very robotic and perfect. Like you can play him like a riff like 1 or 2 times and he'll just nail it right off the bat. And then put your hands down. And then I, on the other hand, like I have like I guess the best way to put it is I have like a lot of feel with riffs and stuff, and he and I could play the same riff, you know, 100 times and it would never sound identical. Alright, so the next question is, Joshua, what is your favorite movie?
Braveheart. Gibson kills it in that. A lot of gore. Great epic film.
Probably one of our first R-rated movies when we were kids.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Mine personally, for anybody that knows me, I'm a total Ghostbusters nerd. Number 1, not so much number 2, but number 1, perfect gold cinematic comedy. You know, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis at their finest.
For the next question, what are your favorite bands?
So for the final question, I think this is usually when in interviews bands try and sound cool and list off a bunch of like really obscure acts that they pretend to be influenced by. But you know, I'm a huge fan of pop music and a huge fan of heavy music. So I'm a big fan of like the Green Days and the Set Your Goals, and then bands like Every Time I Die and Under Oath.
Definitely.
And a lot of stuff like that. I mean, Joshua, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. Love all those bands. I gotta throw in like some classic August Burns Red or Oh Sleeper, some Dynasty bands.
Alright everybody, we want to say thank you for watching. I'm Ian.
And I'm Josh.
And we want to say thank you for watching the first ever AlphaCast. Keep your eye out. We have a lot of big announcements coming up here soon. A lot sooner than you'd think. And so pay attention to our Twitter and Facebook and Bandcamp. And we'll all see you soon.
Bye guys.